weekend all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metal market wrap-up, and this is your weekly edition for Friday, November 27th, 2020. So as I look at the markets, gold's got my jaw dropping because on a monthly chart, which we'll take a look at in a moment here, it's back in a downtrend, and that's something we haven't seen in years. Not last year or the year before, years. Fascinating. And that's on the monthly chart. Now, monthly charts take a long time to change back and forth, and I get it. But it's not very pretty on the weekly chart either. And silver market capitulated actually on Friday and has now thrown its chart into a huge decline. What's not happening is copper's not joining it. Copper's been a blow-away to the upside. They call it Dr. Copper, so it has people thinking the economies are going to be good. And frankly, I was assuming that if copper's that strong, silver would get a bid. I didn't think it would fall apart. There's a difference between a bid and falling apart. Silver fell apart even though the dollar has been dropping. So let's go right to that. When we come to the monthly chart, you've got lower highs, lower lows. Now, in all fairness, the market could call this a trap to the downside should over the next 2 months the market end up taking out the high of this month. Now, the month isn't over. It's got Monday, but it would have to rather rally to go through those highs, almost $180 on Monday. I don't think it's going to do that. When I step back on the chart to find a bearish pattern, remember I said years? There's the lower high, lower low pattern. This was not. These were equal highs. And all you did is pull back here. So these highs, did I point to the wrong one? Just want to make it clear. I think it's around 1365.40 for both of these. Then you nosedove. I don't know what to make out of it other than momentum has turned down and all the air has come out of this market at one time. When we take a look at a weekly close only chart, my gosh, you've gone now from the 20,000, you're pushing now the 1780 level. So you've just dropped in the market $220 since August. When you take a look at this chart here on the weekly chart, you don't find the next real support area to back here in the chart, which is that 1750 to, let's call it the 1660 level. So does the market have free sailing? Well, if you take a look at it, it's not a trend, but it's certainly got a higher high and a lower low. So that part's happened. You're under the 18-week average of closes, and the 100-week and the 200 are way down in the marketplace. So there's only one number that could offer some support, and you're under it, the lower Bollinger Band. This market's now feeding on itself as the open interest, those that are long in the GLD, the liquidation that is going on. It's clear what's happening. They're dumping their gold holdings. They're buying the stock market because that's the market that's been going up. What else can you say about it? When you look at slow stochastics, they are oversold, which we'd expect when you're under a Bollinger Band as well. And you can get a bounce here. Maybe that'll just end up on its own when liquidation ends. I don't know if you can get to the 1570 level, but it's the next support under all this. The gold-silver ratio is going the wrong way for those of you that like silver. It is saying that silver is losing to the gold market, and that was ultra clear this week. You now have the higher high, lower low. The better part of silver is that you're at the lower Bollinger Band, but as we saw in the gold market, it didn't offer gold any support. I don't go by that. I go by the fact that markets that correct and hit that Bollinger Band on the upside or downside often stop at that number initially. Does it all the time? No. You didn't stop here. You finally wore yourself out in this area and corrected, but you go by the high percentage. The high percentage is those pros that have been pushing on the market, the 22, 26.5 level, that lower Bollinger Band oversold. I would expect the pros to be taking money off the short side of the market. As for the copper, this is the first settlement we've got, if I'm correct, that's back over the upper Bollinger. Actually, it's second, 2 in a row. Last week you were up, and this week. You're also embedded. So if we look at these numbers here, you have to have them over 80 3 weeks in a row to say it's embedded. That's a conversion from overbought to locking in a trend. You've got it here, here, and the week before. So you've got your 3 weeks. That tells me on breaks versus what we're seeing in gold and silver, the market should be well supported. If it's not and the red line were to close under 80, I'd look for prices to return to wherever that 18-week moving average of closes is. In the platinum, it's not falling apart, I think you'd agree with me, like the silver market and or the gold market. You have the higher lows, higher highs. I expected this. I expected it in platinum to resolve itself the same way. Why? Autos, things of that nature. If copper's good, what would that do? And I don't show the platinum here, but go look at it. You're going to see it's made a nice move. As for the dollar index, you have finally gotten down to the lower Bollinger Band, something we haven't done since we left it back here. You're at a level that's only about 50 points lower. I'm expecting the pros to take some money off the table on the short side, looking to sell the market if they can get it either embedded and or the market gives you a correction, one of the two. So that's what I'm looking at there. You might want to track in with me on my afternoon SPDR ETFs and my morning futures videos. These markets are now exciting. You're breaking gold to levels we didn't expect, same in the silver market. And when I say we, I don't think the market expected it. The liquidation in the GLD has been nothing short of fantastic. The futures, same thing, coming down. So they're liquidating together, and where's the money been going? The stock market. You can see it with all-time highs made. So what I do is Monday through Friday, I give you a video each morning and a video in the afternoon that's a subscriber video covering nearly 40 charts in each with very specific recommendations. I'm proud to say, no, I did not get caught in the gold or the silver. I cover all this, by the way. That's what I do in the futures, about 40 charts. I'm doing about the same now in the ETFs. It was 34, I'm up to just about 40 now. And here's what I'm covering on all of them. So when you get the two together, the idea is you get a game plan in the afternoon in the SPDR ETF video. You look at the futures in the morning. Remember, those don't open till 8:30 for the regular market session, right? You got time. The futures are doing something, whatever I said in that afternoon tells you, yeah, go with what he's saying, or no, the futures are going the opposite way. And I give you ample notice about that as I do each one. I try to tie them together in a big way for you. Is this a lot of information? Yeah. Do you have to look at every piece of it? No, because when I make these, there's a scroll bar and you pull it. Let's assume you only wanted to trade currencies just for the sake of talking about it, all right? Well, you just go to the currency section on it. What if you just wanted to trade, if we were to talk about it, the futures in one part there, maybe just the metal market? It's there for you as well. So how do you get to it all? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. Under the word research, everything is explained right there. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great weekend. I'll see you all Monday.